following podcast is recorded and produced by the Podcast Precinct in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com. The Podcast Precinct. Consistency, creativity, culture.
The Nostalgia Funhouse proudly dedicates all episodes in the loving memory of Connie Chirac. So, Johnny, I've been hearing really great things about this Nostalgia Funhouse. It just brings back so many great memories.
Andrew, the only reason I'm moving in line with you here is that you really vouched for this show. So I'm just going to believe you that this is the show that I've been wanting, which is just talking about all the fun stuff from our yesteryear and the years before. And I really hate anything meta, so I'm glad that what we're doing right now is not that.
Oh, no, definitely. What is meta? Isn't that Ron Artesta's new name?
Well, add world and peace to it, sure.
Yeah, but this is great. They last year they were tearing play sets and Halloween costumes.
Well, that sounds cool.
They get these weird court recordings from pop culture courts.
Does anybody care about court cases?
These ones are kind of cool. They put Scott Kelvin on trial. Poor old Santa Claus there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, man. You know what the best part about this is, though? Is I hear they always got a really great sponsor. You can check it out right there.
Well, hey, Vern. What is that? Is that one of them new Brahms Country Fried Steak sandwiches? Yeah, it is. They are good, aren't they? A real Brahms Country Fried Steak sandwich with tomatoes and lettuce and the works. How's them fries?
Ho, ho, ho! Welcome to the Nostalgia Holiday House. I'm Santa, and I'm here to introduce the three very good boys. I've checked the list twice. Even Will's been a good boy. I'm just as shocked as you. And Andrew, he's been a good boy, but just barely. And Johnny, oh bless his heart. And there we go. Here's the three guys. Thank you, Santa. That's a big gift for us Santa Claus guys.
Wow. How'd we pull that out of the hat?
Oh, out of the Santa hat. I don't know. Oh, I'd ask him, but he's already went up my chimney.
With a clatter?
It's a big clatter, yeah.
I'm more of a Krampus guy.
Oh,
have you guys seen the Krampus on the shelf you can buy?
No, I have a Snoop Dogg.
I've seen the Snoop Dogg. They've done a Krampus on the shelf, and I have it in my closet waiting to go for when those kids act out of turn.
There you go.
That. We've already missed Krampus Day. That was the 5th of December.
Yeah.
But if they misbehave, he's coming out. And I think I'll take the elf on the shelf and dismember it. And I'll have the Krampus sitting over the dismembered elf on the shelf.
Sitting over the body.
Yeah. I hate Elf on the Shelf. That was the worst 5 years or whatever I had that thing of my life.
I'm going on I think it's been over 10 years now. I hate this goddamn thing.
Oh,
it's awful.
It's awful. Yeah, it's the worst. They make books showing you what to do with the elf on the shelf.
So you just put them in different places?
Yeah, but they have clothes, they have accessories, they have animals and pets. They show you these little pictures of how to make it fun for the kids. It's they're getting gifts. Shut up.
Yeah.
We didn't have that. I had fun at Christmas time.
Yeah.
Somebody said that we had the belt over the mantle. But,
yep.
Yeah. The worst part about that we hate about the Elf on the Shelf is that all of a sudden, especially during the week, you work all day, you come home, you do everything you got to do, and then all of a sudden your day is done, and then you're oh, I'm gonna go to bed, and the next thing you know, you're laying in bed, and you're oh, got everything done, and you're damn it, I forgot to move the elf.
Yep. Every night. I dread it. Luckily, I wake up early before the kids. So sometimes if I don't feel like doing it at night, I'll just do it the next morning. But there's always a little bit of dread that they're maybe going to wake up before me.
Yeah.
And then if that's the case, we'll just say that the elf got drunk and forgot to move.
Or the elf was kidnapped, and that's where Krampus comes in.
There you go.
That could work, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But what are we talking about today, Andrew?
We're talking about Ernest Saves Christmas.
In the past, there have been many traditional ways to celebrate Christmas. With songs, with gifts, with family and friends. There's a new way.
Ho, 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 Bert.
With Ernest. Ernest P. Worrell. He's back.
Know what I mean?
Back to save Santa.
Santa's in the slammer.
Look at those beady, twinkling eyes.
Back to save Christmas. Back to save face.
You're dead meat.
That's life for you. Isn't she a doll?
Ernest P. Worrell.
Mr. Funtime.
In the mission they said couldn't be done.
On Comet, on Cupid, on Donder.
In the movie they said shouldn't be done.
Dopey, Grumpy, Blister.
You guys say you have a problem with reindeer?
Trim the tree. Light the candles. Deck the halls. And hit the deck. 'Cause Ernest P. Worrell's coming to town. And he's coming
With colorful cards and festively wrapped packages. Air brakes.
Ernest Saves Christmas.
And what year did this come out?
This came out November 11th, 1988. A budget of $6.5 million.
Wow.
And box office, this is only according to Wikipedia though, but box office $28.2 million.
That's a hit, I'd say.
I did not know that this was a theatrical release. I thought this was a straight to
Oh,
no.
video release.
This is
No, the first three Ernest movies, I believe, are theatrical releases. The Goes to Camp, this one, and Scared Stupid are all came out. Oh, and Goes to Jail. There's four of them.
yeah, dude.
Came out in theaters.
This is the highest grossing film in the Ernest series.
Really?
Yeah, and the next one after this one was Ernest Goes to Jail, which don't want to brag, guys, but I went to the movie theaters to go see.
I went with my grandma to see that.
My favorite Ernest movie.
I love it. It's a great movie. There's a bad Ernest in it.
Yeah, I'll get into
And
that.
it's just Jim Varney getting to be Jim Varney, I think.
Yeah. So Ernest Scares Stupid. Ernest Saves Christmas. I'm like Johnny when we did Survivor Series and he kept on calling it SummerSlam.
Yes, there's double S's.
Those are S's.
They'll get you.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna run through the plot here. A man claiming to be Santa Claus arrives in Orlando, Florida, where Ernest P. Worrell is working as a taxi cab driver. Santa informs Ernest that he is on his way to tell a local celebrity named Joe Carruthers. Do they use Carruthers a lot, or is that just me, like in TV and everything else? Like I feel like that was like a staple last name.
Yeah, it's like Smith, Johnson, but like I've never met a Carruthers in my life.
I've never met a real person named that. Yeah.
Oh, I think we have someone coming into the studio right now.
Oh, who is it? Oh, this is exciting.
Who is it?
So it's Mr. Matthew Johnson.
No way.
Oh, wow. Ask him if he's seen Ernest Scared Stupid.
Have you seen Ernest Saves Christmas?
Yeah.
He has seen it.
Oh, is he gonna sit down with us?
No, I'm just coming to get some stuff.
Oh,
Hello.
here we
Hi,
go.
buddy.
Hello, sir.
I didn't expect to see you guys here. What's up?
Hey, let him know that Bennett's gift should be there Wednesday.
Bennett's gift should be there Wednesday.
Okay, thank you.
You guys have headphones on. I want it to be a surprise.
Don't move.
I got him He-Man Little People. So I want to
Oh, I've seen those. Very nice.
inject the Motu universe into as many young. Well, that doesn't sound good. I want to expose the Motu universe to.
That still doesn't sound good.
Yeah, well, it's better.
I don't know. Expose it.
But I'm leaving all this in too. I'm not editing any of this out.
Yeah, don't-
'Cause this is all just classic good old stuff.
we
here.
got to leave it in. I mean, we got a little pop in from Matt. That's
There you
always-
go. Hey,
always a
little pop,
blessing.
the old
Little-
pop in. It's like the Kramer. He came in,
Yeah.
everybody applauded.
He should have came in and did, hey, like,
Art Johnson popped in.
like Kramer does.
There you go.
So going to find Joe Carruthers, who hosts a popular children's program that emphasizes manners and integrity.
And it's just been canceled.
Yes, just been canceled. Because what is his thing? Please and thank you are two words
Yes.
Two little
Yeah.
words, please and thank you. Yeah.
that never go out of style. So as Santa goes through the airport, I had a problem that
Oh, okay. I can't believe anybody has any problem
so
with this movie at all.
he's going through customs and his name is Santa Claus on his passport.
Yeah. And
Yeah, that's his name.
it's
Why can't it be
Christmas.
why can't it be Chris Kringle? Shouldn't it be Chris Kringle?
That's not what a lot of kids know.
That's
though.
too challenging for the children to follow.
Yeah. Yeah. Can
So
I go
let's
ahead and
just
I want to go ahead and do my fun facts. I think this is a good time to do those. I hope you guys are ready for these. This is the first movie ever that was mostly shot in Orlando.
really.
Yeah, that hadn't really had happened before. The guy who plays Santa Claus is also the guy who voiced the Sultan in Aladdin.
I did know that. I did look him up because he looked very familiar,
Yeah.
and the voice was there too.
Yeah. The same guy, the actor who played Carruthers' agent, that guy.
Yeah, he
Uh,
does a lot of stuff.
he was also in another Christmas movie that came out that same year called Die Hard.
Yep.
He was the guy on the plane that
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Told him to probably take off his shoes.
Yeah. And this movie, like I said, was mostly shot in Orlando, except for all the reindeer scenes. And that's because when they shot the movie in Orlando, they were shooting it in the summer. And apparently that's when reindeer actually shed their antlers, and it's a really bloody. So they couldn't.
That would be
want
great.
that.
The blood just dripping from the ceiling.
Yeah.
I want that.
So they had to wait a couple months. And my last little fun fact here, the guy who wrote the score for this movie is the guy who also wrote the score for the series The X-Files. So that's two vastly different things.
Oh, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, so yep, so he's looking for him, and it's an Ernest movie, so I took it at the value. Uh, but when they were driving, a runaway teenager girl named Harmony Star.
That's
Ernest.
not her real name.
That's not a real name.
Hey,
We
don't
find that out later.
spoil it. Don't
We
spoil
find
it.
that out later.
Don't spoil it, guys. But upon reaching the destination, he learns that Santa possesses no real.
Look, I do want to ask this real quick. How old do you think she's supposed to be in this movie?
I would,
14?
if you're a runaway teen, I'm saying 16.
That's what I was guessing, like between 15 and 16 around there, right?
Yeah.
But like that actress was older than that, right?
Let's see
We can
what.
find out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't. She's not. She doesn't have a Wikipedia page.
No, then she's irrelevant to
She's
my.
ageless. Her name was Noelle Parker.
Yeah.
Her name was Noelle, and she was
Yeah.
in a Christmas
Interesting
movie.
enough, yeah.
Oh wow!
He did another one that's vastly different as we talk about things. The Amy Fisher, My Story. She was also in that. I don't know if she played Amy Fisher. Okay, so she was born in 71,
This came out in '88.
88. Yeah, about
She
So
probably
17.
She probably
16,
filmed it in
17.
'87. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did she play Amy Fisher? I don't know, but that's
Because I couldn't tell her what her age was supposed to be because she'd already obviously didn't believe in Santa Claus, and she'd run away from home.
I would say 16 is a good prime age to run away from home. Not if there's any 16-year-olds, don't run away from home. There's people.
Yeah,
seen
but
it-
where does this movie take place again? Does it take place
Orlando. It takes
Orlando?
place in
Okay.
Orlando.
So
Yeah.
she was from what, Indianapolis?
Yeah.
Indiana.
So that's
Yeah.
That's a far way to go.
Well,
Tell Matt bye. I see Matt. I think Matt's leaving.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I think
Keep giving us Matt updates.
All right, Matt. He's got a big bag. It says "Home for the Holidays."
Oh, I like that.
Packing it up.
I got a boogie. The one thing I was looking for, I already took it out of here.
Oh,
It's like 3 minutes away from my house. I just drove all the way out here for it. Oh,
later, bud.
Love you.
Love you.
Great to see you.
Yes,
Bye,
indeed.
Matt.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I'll shoot you a text for maybe breakfast this week.
Yes, I would very much love that.
As would I. Breakfast is the food that you eat at the beginning of the day. Matt is leaving. Bennett's staying though. Me and Ben are gonna hang out.
Okay.
Just gonna
We're gonna
leave
go
his son.
baby's day out.
Great movie.
Gotta go out drinking and get barbecue. Expose them to as much barbecue and Reba as possible.
That
Yeah.
and I also rented an orangutan for the day, so it's going to be a double
Smart.
whammy. We're going to check in and we're going to go out.
That sounds
Love
like a
it.
great movie.
Dustin
Little
checks the baby in.
orangutan and a baby.
What can't go wrong?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. I mean, that's a far way for a 16-year-old to get. Like,
Yes.
I hate to say, what did she have to do, or what did she have to say to get down to Orlando? That poor thing.
She had a
She also
she
she had a lot of she seemed to have street smarts, as they say.
She had
Yeah.
street savoir faire.
Yeah.
A certain
Oh.
dog told me that.
Oh,
Why should you worry? Why should you care?
Because as we first meet her, she's dining and dashing.
Yeah, she had the beep operation. She did have that street savoir faire.
She was out of there. But Santa goes over to the good old Orlando's Children's Museum because he needs to talk to Joe, who is now working there, teaching kids.
As a kid, I always thought that, like, I never heard of a children's museum until about like maybe 10 years ago in my life.
Oh,
So that always
Strong?
struck me as odd. Like, what is
Yeah.
a children's museum? Is it just kids on display? Like, what is this?
You go there to see kids from all over the place.
That's like an odd name for
Yeah.
what those are. Like, they're just like basically giant jungle gyms, indoor jungle gyms and like play areas with like different activities for kids.
I
I
like,
think it's the same thing as like a Discovery Center today, right?
Yeah, like an activity center, discovery
Yeah.
center. Like that makes more sense as far as a name than a
Yeah.
children's museum.
yeah, but the Strong has that though because they have like the Toy Hall of Fame Museum and they have that a giant TV.
I think yes.
with the Atari 2600, and then there's the cool super. I wish it was bigger last time I was there, but the cool superhero exhibit where you pretend like you get hit with like gamma rays, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
you lift that thing up.
hmm
I learned absolutely nothing. I don't think my kids learned anything from the Strong Museum of Play, other than it's fun to do wacky things. Like Will said, it's a giant jungle gym.
Yeah.
I did get to sit on the stoops of Sesame Street though, so that was all.
That's probably the
that's
best
sweet.
part of that
Yeah.
entire museum is the Sesame Street area.
So he tries to talk to him at the museum, but Joe's rude agent, Marty Brock, discourages him. And then all of a sudden, Santa gets arrested.
Oh, Joe's rude agent.
Yeah, Joe's rude agent. But Santa gets
Yeah, I heard it too. I heard it too.
what it sound like? Did you think
I heard
another
it too.
J
Yeah,
word?
yeah. Enunciate. You got to enunciate the word Joe.
rude. Joe.
Well, let's just say there's some people who don't celebrate Christmas. They have a Hanukkah and
no.
everything.
Oh
And that's what I thought you
Yeah.
said.
no.
And a lot of them probably are agents. So that's why I was confused.
But this is
But I
where
bet they're all not. I bet some of them are actually very nice and not rude at all.
I bet they are, yes.
but this is where Santa gets arrested. What does he get arrested for other than just
That's what I tried to figure out. He didn't do anything
Well-
terrible.
yeah, like
I think it was because they didn't believe he was Santa Claus. They thought he was Santos. So there was like mistaken identity. Like his paperwork didn't match up. And then wasn't it something with the money? Because he didn't have actual money. He had the board game money.
He didn't have actual money, which I have a question about how he gets on that bus later on in this movie. But the other thing, though, is like I was trying to figure out exactly like if he's getting arrested, it should be for like taking him somewhere to get help, not to be put behind bars.
yeah, like they
right?
throw him in jail. That
Well, they
thinking
get
like
to
a
that
mental
plot
in-
point later.
but like
Those Orlando police.
It was the 80s, man.
it's
You
the
think they-
80s and it's
They
Florida.
barely care about mental health now. You think they cared about it back in 88?
That's fair.
Okay. True. But he does get all the prisoners to go into a nice chorus.
Yeah, and they believe
Which-
he's Santa.
Which they totally later on, like Christmas Chronicles, they just totally ripped that off. That guy who made that movie watched Ernest Saves Christmas.
Isn't that the one with Kurt Russell?
Yes, it is.
I watched about 2 seconds of it and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, there's a scene where he gets arrested and he
Oh, yeah,
gets
yeah,
all
yeah.
the prisoners to sing a song in jail.
You're
So
right.
They just
completely,
ripped it off. Yeah, they just totally ripped it off.
Well, and
I mean,
do.
much more higher production value, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I do love the Santa Claus, those Tim Allen movies. I do love those, but
Yeah,
the
those kind of
premise of
stole it too.
those premises kind of do steal it from this movie a little
Yeah.
bit.
This is
Yeah.
like this was a groundbreaking Christmas movie as far as
Yeah.
lore goes.
Yeah, it was.
Trailblazing. Right?
It was.
Ernest Saves Christmas. Trailblazing.
Ernest P. Worrell, always a trailblazer.
But
Right
this
there with him and Clyde Drexler.
Harmony and good old Ernest decide they need to break Santa out of jail. Ernest pretends to be an employee of the governor, and Harmony, the governor's niece.
Yes.
But
Genius.
I always
These are
love
my
Ernest.
favorite. These are my favorite Ernest stuff, though. Is when he
Yeah.
does this. Yeah.
Whenever
Did you
go-
get like I also was this before the whole Vern thing? Like when he crashes into
No,
Vern's
Vern
house?
was before.
yeah,
Vern
yeah,
was before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vern, that's just great. Like I like that they kept that in the movie. Like it's an Ernest movie, but they kept what made Ernest Ernest.
Yeah.
in the
Vern,
movie.
I think
Like,
Vern's in every movie. Like,
Yes.
It's a small part. Yeah.
Gotta
No,
be.
I don't think he's in Scared Stupid.
I thought he was.
I'll have to watch it again.
No, I
Okay.
I
don't.
recently acquired it. It was hard to find, so I don't think Vern is
I don't
in
want to
Scared
brag.
Stupid though.
I don't want to brag, but I have the DVD that has the 3 movies on it, and apparently
Oh.
that's very hard to find now.
Yes, I believe it's such a bargain. That
Yeah.
was like a Walmart bin special for
That's where I
decades.
got it.
Yeah,
That's where I
exactly.
got it. Yeah.
It's a $5 Walmart bin special forever.
Yeah.
Oh, another fun fact: Santa gets arrested in this movie on my birthday.
Oh wow!
Looking
Well,
at
happy
it,
birthday,
when he
Andrew.
was getting the mug shot, it was December 23rd. I was like, oh geez, look, Santa.
Also, there's a lot of people doing stuff on Christmas Eve. Like, there's also you haven't got to it yet, but when Joe's driving up at like when he's going to like actually accept the job as Santa Claus, there's just kids, and it's nighttime. It's like 7 o'clock. They're just kids
it's the
playing
80s.
outside in
But
the
it's
dark.
Orlando. It's Florida.
It's Florida in the
Orlando.
80s.
Yeah.
Florida in the 80s.
Yeah.
Unsupervised.
It was the
Florida.
80s, man.
It's Florida in the 80s. Florida in the 80s. I could tell you right now, Florida in December is vastly different at Christmas
Oh, yeah.
time.
I bet so.
I remember they were like, "Hey, you want to go to the beach? Like walk along it." When I was visiting family in December, and I was like, "It's gonna be too cold," and they're like, "No, it's fine." And we're like, we went to the beach. Like I walked along a beach, and it was like the most amazing thing to me because in December in Western New York, you don't leave your house unless you really, really have to.
Okay, I had to look this up because it's related to what you're saying. I Googled, has it ever snowed in Orlando? In the last 120 years, it's snowed exactly twice
so there you go.
ever in Orlando.
Is one of them because of this movie? Was one of them in 1988 when
No,
the
last time it ever
spoiler?
snowed. The last time it ever snowed was January 19th, 1977.
I was gonna say because that one guy wishes for snow and
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
they get snow in there. But yeah, the kids running around. It's the 80s, Johnny. I'm pretty sure my parents would have kicked me outside if they had the chance on Christmas Eve. Like, just go find something to do while we could try and move stuff.
Oh, Christmas Eve, I was always like going to both the grandma's houses back and forth.
Oh, I only had one. So at the time. So that's what I was trying to think, but I only had one.
Yeah.
But so they get Santa out of jail, and Santa's like, hey, we gotta find Joe, who's at the movie studio because he got a part for Christmas sleigh, was it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sleigh, not like the sleigh you ride on. But Ernest disguises himself as a snake rancher.
Yeah. Yes.
That was great.
Poison. They be poison.
That part, like, I gotta say, this director, I love the wide angle close up shots that they use throughout this. Like, this guy only directed Ernest films. Like, besides
John
like,
Cherry.
yeah, that was like basically all he ever did. But the choices he made with his cinematography, like, kudos. Like, it's not just the flat shots; they're very, very kinetic shots, very motion heavy, and they keep you engaged for sure. They definitely, when like the Ernest stuff, like those close up wide angle shots are so appealing visually.
Well,
and
they
just pull you right in.
This movie has multiple actors who are really great with facial expressions.
Yeah.
Oh yes, big time.
and so I think his directing and how he gets those shots is pretty dang great. Side note, when I went for that one whole semester at college, one of my friends I made there, I think it was her great uncle was Bobby, the guy who played Bobby.
No, that's the best. That's like my favorite character.
Yeah,
I love Bobby.
and I know she's telling the truth because she never ever mentioned it till I brought it up, and she never ever bragged about anything ever before. And then she showed me a picture. Like, holy crap, that's Bobby.
I love Bobby. Bobby's like my
That
favorite
guy is
character.
great. It's like they got like a Penn and Teller type
Yes,
relationship.
except for he talks a little bit more, but yeah.
Yeah.
I love it when he's like shooting them like Magnum like 44 and like Ernest goes to jail. It's like 1,000 times bigger than what he should be.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, the guy who plays Chuck, like you just got by with the fact you can move your eyes side to side as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Like, that was your gimmick. That's all you could really do.
Pretty impressive.
Just chef's kiss though. So good.
He does have a great scene
Was
where
he the
like,
inspiration for one of the Gremlins and Gremlins 2, the new batch?
oh, I bet so.
Because
Yeah.
one
I
of
bet
them
he
does
is,
that
yeah.
eye thing.
And you gotta have that sound effect.
Yes. Gotta have it. Gotta have it.
The other great thing about this movie is it's 91 minutes long.
Oh,
Yes.
I miss it. I miss that.
Yep.
I miss it so much.
I don't think we've reviewed anything over an hour 45.
Nor should you. That's when
Have we,
they're
Johnny? I
no
don't
longer
think we have.
films. They're marathons.
I don't think so.
I think
Because
every,
apparently all three of us are on the same page where we love an hour and a half movie.
it gets it done. It's done. It's
Yeah.
over with.
Yeah.
We're good. If you can't tell me the story in an hour and a half, I don't want to know about it.
I've been going back and rewatching the Harry Potter movies,
Oh, geez. Are you feeling okay?
and I've been breaking them up. I'm not watching them all in one sitting. Like one movie takes me like 3 days to watch because I just keep breaking them up. I don't want to watch them all at once.
Jacoby and
And
I, Jacoby and I, the little blonde haired kid that lives down the hall.
Yeah.
He got into the Hobbit movies and we watched
Yeah.
all three of them in one day.
Oh my gosh!
And it was
Oh.
he has
Like-
ADHD. But
Oh
he
man!
sat there
Yeah.
and he watched all the Hobbit movies. So I'm like, when their teacher's like, we can't get him to sit still. I was like, but on the Hobbit.
I do love those movies, but there's no way I'm going to sit through all those in one time.
We watched all.
Try the extend. I have all the extended cuts. It's even worse.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So they're at the movie studio to get Joe, and Joe can't really do this movie because there's a scene where the monster comes in, the space alien, and Joe needs to shoot it, but he cannot pull the trigger.
Yeah. No, I think it's way more that he doesn't want to cuss.
Yeah, he doesn't want to say son of a B word.
Yeah, and I do like that scene where like they say, well, kids have heard it before. Well, not from me. I did like that because that felt very pure to me. Like
It was a good character moment for him.
yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
it showed why he was chosen to be Santa.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the two dock workers holding Bobby and Chuck, they are greeted by are about to get the helper elves that come in that need to.
Those
get
elves were
reindeer.
creepy as hell. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't mean to
We needed
discriminate.
more. Do you feel like we needed
just
more
the
elves?
two. Maybe more of like a, I don't know. It was they creep me out. They definitely.
And they got like younger little people.
Yeah, I think that's what it should have been.
Where's
I
Hornswoggle
agree
at?
with you. Yeah, old elves are creepy.
Yeah.
They reminded me of the jockeys from the Simpsons episode.
The BIPBP network and the
Yeah.
Nostalgia Funhouse do not recognize the comments made by one Will Smith.
Yeah,
Nor
Will,
should
you're
you.
making terrible comments over there. So these creepy little people.
They were like them as people weren't creepy. The fact
Jeez.
that they were older elves were creepy. There's
Yeah.
no elves in real life. Like you think elves, you
Hey,
think
don't ruin that for me.
you like Lord of the Rings and the Hobbits. There's no old elves. They're all youthful looking.
And why
Like-
I'm always confused. Like, are elves tall or small? Like, there seem to be both in whatever lore you're in.
Yeah, it matters with lore
Yeah.
or where you're associated or like your geographical region.
Yeah.
But they're there to go get the reindeer, and I thought we would have more fun with that, but there was not really too much with that.
Did the cutting of the reindeer scenes regularly? Did they kind of take you out of the flow of the movie?
Uh,
No, because I always
Uh,
look forward to them. 'Cause I always like Bobby and Chuck, so I
yeah,
was always
'cause
fine with it.
Bobby and Chuck are your side characters, so you need to see them. I didn't think it was all that bad. The only one the elves thing got to me. Like I felt like they should have been there sooner. Or how come an elf didn't come with Santa?
Was Santa going rogue?
Well,
Was
he
this
was
not like was this
fearful.
not a mission that was designated by the North
How
Pole?
did
He
how did
shouldn't. The
how
all
did
reindeers.
why did he take a flight? And how did he pay for it?
Maybe a credit card
Yeah.
over
Ahead
the.
Because
of
he got
time.
off the flight because he's talking to that guy off the
Maybe
flight.
he recorded one of the elves on his talkback, and then
Oh,
he slowed down the actual
this just
the
needed
verbiage.
this just needed a
And then when
Credit
he
forward
called,
president.
card,
yeah,
no
yeah,
problem.
when he
This just
called he could just use that credit
it,
card, no
uh,
problem.
all it needed was
That's what it was.
a president to show him the way to the front desk.
That's
Yeah,
all he needed.
but yeah, well, I don't understand why he shipped his sleigh and the reindeer. Like Johnny
Yeah.
said, couldn't he have flown the sleigh?
No, well, they
Yeah.
cover that because he says that um because he's at the end of his tenure as Santa, the
That's
magic
true.
diminishes. So that's why he couldn't fly the sleigh down.
Okay, I didn't get that.
But Ernest flies it just fine and a lot. He
'Cause
flies
he
it
had
around
the
the world a
magic.
bunch.
Yeah, he had the magic. Yeah.
He's got the magic in him.
I did see where like one of the original versions of the script had Ernest himself becoming Santa Claus.
I was wondering if that was like a
Oh.
backup plan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I don't. That would
if
have been.
this
I don't think it would have worked though.
well, you because they would have abandoned it in the sequels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe that's just what he does 1 month a year.
And also saw where one of the guys who was like punching up this script wanted his name taken off of it once he realized it was going to be an Ernest movie.
Oh, come on. That's you put your name on there.
Oh,
Yeah. And I was like,
yeah.
that's a jackass right there.
That is what that is. That's not a human being. That's a plebeian.
I
Yeah.
would love to have my name on an Ernest script.
I wouldn't shut up about it.
I-
That's how I'd introduce myself.
Maybe he was afraid he would have peaked too early in his life and
Don
he
Cherry-
wouldn't be able to live up to that.
Don Cherry made a career out of it.
Yeah.
So he finally, Santa tracks down Joe at home and explains the importance of being Santa Claus. He initially declines, but later changes his mind because he won't use the foul language in front of the children. Harmony,
Well, they also treat him like crap
yeah.
in that meeting.
Harmony steals Santa's. If you're not in the right mindset and you're just in a nice, mature mindset, the word sack in this will give you the giggles because they say sack a lot because Harmony steals Santa's sack.
Yeah, which makes sense because Joe lost his job. He got sacked.
Whose real name is Pamela Trenton.
Oh yeah,
and she abuses it. She abuses Santa's sack. See, by like because there's like those orbs that come out.
yeah, and he's really sad about his sack being abused.
Yeah, those orbs. How many orbs came out? Like a couple million? They all
Yeah,
come out at once, and they're trying to do good.
There's only a
Some
couple
of
orbs.
the
my
orbs
sack.
only a couple orbs get the job done. Maybe
Yeah.
one.
I only
Only
need
one
two
orb.
orbs for mine.
and she's trying to go further down into Florida, trying to get to Miami.
Yeah.
But then some little kids change their mind because of
Well, the brother's being a jerk.
Yeah,
to the little sister.
that whole scene had me in stitches. Where do you get off talking like?
Yeah, I thought that was what I know what I'm getting into with an Ernest movie where the acting is not going to be the greatest, but at that part of the movie,
Yeah, that
was
line.
below.
And then I'm sorry, that little girl had a weird face, and when she goes, "Well, if that's Santa's sack, why do you have it?" I lost it. That was like I shouldn't be laughing at this, but I'm laughing at this moment.
Once again, the DICPP.
That girl.
That
yeah, well,
worked. And the nostalgia.
This is going to take me to a side tangent here.
Ugh.
So I've never seen the show Yellowstone, right? It's a big show though, huge show. I know a lot of people watch it. I've never seen it. I thought about watching it because I do love westerns, and I was told this is sort of like a modern day western type show. But I have been seeing because they play all the time the like trailer for this new season that's happening now, and it looks so overly over dramatic, and the acting look. It's so over the top that I laugh every time at it. I don't think I'm supposed to.
well, it's because you got a hack like Kevin Costner in it.
Oh, come on.
It's not even him
Their
saying any
world.
of the words. It's like one of them's like his blonde. I don't know any of the characters, One of them is this blonde woman, and she says this line that's supposed to be so deep and dark, like you got to kill as many of them before they kill all of you, or something like that. And it's so over the top and melodramatic. I just laugh every time. Like, am I supposed to know? Is it supposed to be like have some deep meaning and darkness?
That's
to
what
it?
I felt about this little funny looking girl talking about Santa's sack and why that other girl has it when she shouldn't.
Yeah.
Pamela Trenton or Harmony Star?
At
Oh.
the point, it was Pamela Trenton.
Yeah,
Trenton.
Pamela.
Yeah.
I like
Pamela.
Pamela.
Yeah, Pamela. It's an amalgamation of the two names.
But on Christmas Eve, Ernest and the Helpers.
I bet she grew up to be a really beautiful lady, though.
Yeah.
Unless she played in the Amy Fisher. That's a story in its own. But
Which one's Amy Fisher? I'm trying to remember. I know the name.
All right. Earmuffs to any kids out there. She is the one that
Was she the teacher that slept with the okay, not that
the
person.
young girl that was it's Saturday Night Live. Look it up because they do some funny things when they were
I know the name, and as soon as you say it, I'm gonna feel
But,
dumb that I forgot it.
she was having an affair with this guy, Joey Buttafuoco,
Okay, yes.
who
I
was
know the name,
married, and then she shot the wife. And
Yes, yeah.
But the wife lived, and then Buttafuoco didn't even like pay any attention to Amy Fisher afterwards.
Yeah, I need you to go back when you're editing this and just Buttafuoco, like just put a beep in the Fook part.
Yeah, what a name.
There's a great
What
thing.
a great name.
If you watch SNL, there's like this great one where they're doing because I think it was ABC and NBC were trying to like get out their Amy Fisher story first, so they aired them out at the same time, on the same exact date. So SNL is kind of like making fun of it, and there's one where Danny DeVito is playing Joey Buttafuoco, and it's it's so funny.
Oh, so sort of like a volcano Dante's Peak sort of thing.
Yeah, you got to get whoever gets there first.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Because I think one had Alyssa Milano and the other one had Drew Barrymore.
Oh man, can't go wrong. Both of those are pretty great.
This is I think this is just fresh out of rehab, non-coked Drew Barrymore.
Oh, so she was real sleepy then, huh?
Yeah.
Always wanting that.
I just saw a thing and
They had a really non-energetic performance, I bet.
I gotta tell you guys something at the end of this that I saw something on like Reels that made me think of like a conversation we would have. But so the Ernest and the elves get the sleigh. They're having trouble controlling it. And I know Joe's got to get to the Children's Museum. I don't know why he had to get
by 7 o'clock. No,
7 o'clock.
They say it. They do
7
say.
o'clock.
Yeah,
That's
but
when the
why
magic
do
will
they have to
totally
go-
drain.
No, it's when the magic will drain, but also
Why
you
at
have to
the
leave
Children's
by
Museum?
you have to leave by 7 o'clock to be able to make it all around.
To get all the
world.
kids their
Why
gifts.
the Children's Museum? It could have
That
been.
I don't know.
Yeah, why not say
Because there's already
7
kids
o'clock
there
at the Burger King?
There's already kids there playing there, so you can already get.
Yeah,
through
that
presents
is
right away.
that is a plot hole. Yeah, like because Santa already knows where he lives. He could have just gone to Joe's house and made it so much easier.
Yeah,
he was
did
already
go to
there.
Joe's house. Yeah.
Yeah, they were already there. Why do they have to meet at the Children's Museum? I tell you why. Because Santa had the hots for that old lady, old Seth Applegate.
Seth Applegate, you're
And
totally
I'm
right.
watching. He had the hots for the lady who worked at the Children's Museum. That's the only reason that they had to meet there was so he
Oh,
could
I got a
show off
question.
that he was Santa Claus. So I'm looking at this old
Trying to get
battle
his
axe,
sack
and I
off.
go, I know who this woman is. This old battle axe. Why does she look so familiar?
Yeah.
Come to find out, a
Home
couple
Alone.
years later, she and her human embodiment of Waldorf the Muppet,
Yes,
they go and she gets a screaming deal on jewelry
she sure
from a
does.
grieving mother trying to
Yep.
get home to her son who's been left home alone.
Yep.
And I go, this trollop of a woman, she leaves Seth Applegate for Waldorf, and then she's just gonna rob this woman blind of all her jewelry in a time of need.
Oh, Ed.
My goodness.
No John Candy. She's no poker king. I'll tell you
Oh,
that.
Ed. Yeah.
Okay. So one of the elves. You guys are gonna die when you hear this.
One of them had to be in the Wizard of Oz.
No.
Really?
Star Wars Holiday Special. Lumpy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, Lumpy was in this.
Yeah,
He's a dual Christmas movie threat.
Lumpy was played by a female named Patty Maloney.
Oh,
Say LaBelle.
Lumpy's got a couple of lumps going on. I see.
There you go, Lumpy.
Yeah.
Now, were any of them also in a wrestling match with Jerry the King Lawler
No,
taking on Doink and the Little Doinks?
I could have swore I saw
Oh.
the other one before too. Oh, Bedtime Story, but nobody cares about that movie. It's a good movie, but
Meh, it was all right.
we're talking about Ernest. I'm trying to. Is that Billy Bird? Because her husband. Oh, she's also Lois Feldman from Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol. I thought I knew her from something else. Also,
I've seen all those movies, but I get them all confused with each other.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I watched them all one time, and it didn't work out too good. But also, her husband from Home Alone is also sitting next to Steve Martin. I want to say in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah, that guy was like in
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
And why
Yeah.
did he looks just like Waldorf from the Muppets?
Because Statler wasn't around yet.
No.
It was pre Statler.
I think Statler already died at that point.
Oh,
This is
geez.
a sad episode.
Yeah, this
It
real
is very sad. It's very sad.
We learned about Will's hatred for old elves.
Yeah, it's weird. They should be young.
Yeah, they shouldn't age.
So
How
finally,
was Bernard so much bigger than the other elves in the Santa Claus?
wasn't he older?
He was the head elf. That's all they ever said.
Maybe he's older then. Is this
Yeah, but he had cool dreads.
That one girl who the other kind of main elf in a way.
Mhm.
Like she says how old she is, and she's like really, I forgot the age, but it's hundreds.
He's like the Rufio of the elves.
because
Bernard, yeah.
good old Seth Applegate in this one, who's the Santa Claus before, spoiler alert, Joe becomes Santa Claus, says he's 151 years old.
Yeah.
He took up the
I thought-
mantle of Santa Claus in 1889.
And he loved doing it.
He did
loved
nothing
doing it.
about the 2 world wars. What a sack. He could have stopped them. He could have stopped them
You
both.
can make it snow in
But
Orlando.
isn't
You can
Santa
stop the
supposed to be
World War.
like the watcher though? Like you're not allowed to intervene?
No,
He
in
made
the
it
world.
snow in Orlando.
Yeah, he intervened there. Somebody probably,
Yeah.
hit an icy patch. These people in Orlando, they don't know how to deal with
Did
snow.
he make
They
it
probably
snow?
hit an icy patch, probably rammed their car and killed
They talk
themselves
about like
and several
thousands
others.
of people died during that
Yeah.
snowstorm. They
Yeah,
don't talk about that.
exactly.
Oh, so that Santa did it because that it just proves it right here. Because Joe turns on the acting job, decides to become the new Santa. Joe uses his magic to make it snow in Orlando.
Oh, Joe did it then.
Yeah, Ernest.
Oh
and
yeah,
his
Joe
helpers-
technically does it. Yeah.
Oh,
Ernest
okay.
and his helpers arrive just in time using air brakes. My
And
favorite.
I love that. And I love that the snow, like that guy, like they cut to that guy that you met at the beginning of the movie, and he's like being a real hard ass on
Yeah.
the phone. He's like, "Oh, you're going to do this? I don't care if it's Christmas Eve." Turns look at the window and it's snowing. You know what? Merry Christmas. Go home.
Oh, that's right. That did
Go home
come
to your
full circle. I
family.
forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Pays off, man.
It
And that
does.
air brakes line that Ernest said, that's one of those lines when I was a kid that I would repeat all the time because I don't know why when I was a kid I thought that line was great.
I
always love when Ernest looks at the camera and he just
Yeah.
laughs.
Yeah.
So good.
Air brakes. Yeah.
He knows.
So Pamela decides that she's going to go home after calling her mother. But first, she had to go to the Children's Museum. Because she had Santa's sack.
She had to drop Santa sack
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
But Joe does choose Pamela and Ernest to be their special helpers. Because Ernest drives the sleigh for the night. Santa resumes his identity as Seth Applegate and spends. There we go. This is
Yeah.
the part right here. Spends Christmas Eve with the museum employee Mary Morrissey.
Oh, yeah.
Does he ever?
But
Sure did.
at
She gets to play with Santa's sack.
at 7 p.m., Joe takes off to deliver gifts. And this is, I would have loved to have seen this. I don't know why we didn't get this because the little kind of like Marvel scene at the end of it is later the 2 dock workers, Chuck and Bobby,
Yeah.
get a crate marked E Bunny.
Yep.
Maybe we
Oh,
not
I
get
wonder what that could be.
Easter or something.
I do love that like they were doing this before Marvel came along.
They knew.
Doing it. Yeah. They knew what they were doing.
I'm really upset by this. Like, I've seen some things that Marvel's done, and you're like, oh, how come we never saw this? But this takes the cake right here. It's
Yeah.
how come we never got an Ernest Easter movie.
Yeah, forget about Skeletor coming out of the lava.
What?
saying I'm back. Yeah, and I'll be back. It's this is the ultimate.
Have you
What we could have had.
ever heard what they wanted to do with the second Masters of the Universe?
I can tell you, I wanted to become Santa Claus.
They wanted
And they
Skeleclaws.
said, no, Skeletor, it's going to be Skeleclaws.
they wanted He-Man to be a quarterback like Flash Gordon, and then Skeletor
Oh
was going to be
no.
an evil businessman. Thank God
Oh,
that movie theater or that movie studio shut down.
oh, the Canon Group. What can't
You
they
go
do
back
right?
and watch that movie though, like who's the actor who plays Skeletor? Because he's actually really good.
Frank Langlia. He's
Yeah.
a good actor. He's been
Yeah,
in a
he's
ton of
awesome.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a great actor. He did not phone it in. He was going for broke.
Yeah.
So all right. Here's the question. Will, this is your first movie review.
Oh
so-
yeah, Will, you don't know we do this. So
Yeah.
for all our movie reviews, we always have a segment toward the end where we say, "Hey, in this movie, which character would you want to be?"
Yeah, because you remember being a kid and you're like, hey, I would have liked to have been that guy in the movie. That's what we like to do on the Nostalgic Funhouse.
Okay.
So if you could have been played any character,
I don't know. I feel like saying Ernest is a cop out, but I mean, he's just so gosh darn whimsical. And
Yeah.
he gets in so many adventures, and he just seems so kind-hearted. Like,
If
he
you
just
know
seems
what-
like a good guy. Like I never once thought that he had unpure
Yeah.
intentions with Harmony. Like
Agreed.
he's just a
Yeah,
cool
'cause
dude. I mean that could have like that plays a little weird, but no, he's just earnest. He's pure. He goes visit his buddy Vern. He's causing mischief and issues. He thinks quick on his feet. He's got a wardrobe for days. Apparently, he could just change like such. And I want to say, when he dresses up like the old lady, man, does he know how to distract as a woman? A big
sure
old
does.
rack.
that's my
Yeah, big ol'-
favorite disguise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a big old buxom woman. And
He's
and I
great.
gotta
He's great
say-
at making pancakes.
so I think I would have to. Yes, I want a griddle on my ceiling.
Yeah.
You just flip them up there. And now let me. Two questions I have.
Yeah.
Whose house is better, Ernest's or Pee Wee's?
Pee-wee's,
Oh man.
no doubt about it.
I mean, Pee Wee's a little too flashy for me. I feel like you're gonna get
Johnny-
burglarized all the time. Hence why his bike got stolen. But I'm
Ernest is,
thinking Ernest. It's a little more low key.
well, I don't know. Like when he goes to jail, his house is more like a giant Ruth Goldberg machine.
Yeah.
Oh, Pee-wee. You know what?
And then my other question is, where the hell was Rimshot? He was he on
Yeah.
strike for this movie?
Oh, I'm glad you said that. When they were filming this movie, there actually was a strike going on,
So
And they had to
Rimshot was on strike.
so they had to shoot around a Teamster strike.
Oh, jeez. Have you seen the Saturday morning cartoon or show of it? Like, what is it called? Hey Vern, Ernest, or something?
Yeah.
That's the show. That's the only show. That's the only time he ever actually won like a Emmy or something for that show. Jim Varney. Yeah.
Hey Vern, it's Ernest. There it is.
Andrew, who would you be in this movie?
Oh, I'd be Bobby in a heartbeat. Best character in any Ernest movie is Bobby.
All right, I don't want to take
He is
either
pretty
two you
great.
got either the two you guys have taken because those would have been my choices too. So I'm going to go with Joe just so I can be Santa Claus.
There you go. My
Both those guys were good. I will say both of them were good, like believable Santas.
I think so.
yeah.
And they were so different from one another. But I thought they were both believable, nice little Santa Clauses. And
Yeah.
Santa out of the red suit, the original Santa, Seth, man, he dresses to the nines.
He sure
He
does.
knows how to get things done.
What is
Three-piece
what-
suit.
Those tassels on the
Now- oh yeah,
on
yeah,
the elbows.
yeah. Joe's all about the
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior. He must
He
have
was.
must have been challenged in a warrior. It was all the rage at the time. So he was. I noticed that and there was like almost like a glitter pattern in his suit, like a swirly glitter pattern in Joe's suit.
They should
Very
have him,
interesting choice.
They
Yeah.
should have him like they should have him like get into his sleigh and like shake the side of the sleigh really, really violently.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen Dr. Detroit?
No.
I've heard of it.
Okay, it's with Dan Aykroyd, and he portrays himself as like a pimp, kind of, but he's not a pimp. But he's
Yeah, one of those non-pimps. Yeah.
but his pimp name is Dr. Detroit, and this guy Oliver Clark, who played Joe Carruthers, was in it, and his role was shaky alcoholic lawyer.
Oh,
No,
That's a
that'll
good
do
role.
it.
That
He's
was
going through
his
DTs.
last film role before Ernest Saves Christmas. I almost said Scared Stupid. But so he went from shaky alcoholic lawyer to Santa Claus. So upgrades.
I think so. Yeah. All right. So, what are we going to rate this movie out of? What do you
Santa
think?
sacks.
Santa Sacks. All right. So we always do these out of 5. Andrew, how many Santa Sacks out of 5 would you give Ernest Saves Christmas?
I give it a 4.5. I think
Oh,
it's
that's
Wow, that's high sackage.
yeah. Oh, Oliver Clark, Joe Carruthers was born in Buffalo, New York.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. He's
nice. Oliver Clark, huh? Let's see what else Oliver Clark did.
done a
He
lot.
oh, you go to his Wikipedia.
He's got a
He
lot.
is a interesting looking man
Yeah, he needed to keep the
as a
beard.
younger man.
He's also done Mystery Men. MASH. He's done a lot of Night Court, Growing
Oh
Pains,
boy,
The Jeffersons. He's all over the place. He's great. But yeah,
This- yeah. His film always on the Bob Newhart show. A couple episodes, 9 of them.
see,
The Rockford Files. Look at that.
he's a bit.
I am also going to give this 4.5 Santa Sacks
Wow.
out of 5. I love this movie. This is a yearly watch for me, and I was very excited to watch this again for this show.
I think it's fun. I think it's
It's
just
very, very fun.
fun.
Does not overstay its welcome and knows exactly what it is and doesn't try to be anything else.
Yep.
I'll go a little lower, not by much. I'm going to go 4 sacks. I don't believe in half sacks. All right. If you're going to fill up the sack, you fill it up. If you're not going to fill it up, don't even bother.
What about the
Don't even
NFL stat sheets? You don't.
The older
I
I
don't believe in
get,
half sacks. You have to make you don't get half sacks.
I don't know. The older I
Doesn't
get, I'll
count.
take all the sacks I can get.
Maybe as I get a little older, my stance on half sacks will change. Right
Especially
now,
as
nothing
a
but full
single man.
sacks.
As a single man in my now early 40s, I don't get as much sacks as I wished. So
I'm the type of guy when I go to the Salvation Army and I'm donating stuff. If I got half a sack, I'm not donating, and I'm waiting until I can fill that sack up.
Yeah, I just think this is a great movie.
it is.
It really is. It really is. Now, where would you guys think it goes on the Ernest movie scale?
That's
I like this. I like this a lot.
I gotta
this is
watch
tough.
the other ones because Ernest Goes to Camp is great.
Ernest Goes to Camp is an instant classic. I think the main 4 Ernest movies are classics for me growing up.
Yeah.
I love them all very, very much. But this one and Stupid, I literally watch every year.
Yeah, they are definitely part of my holiday rotation.
Yeah.
These things are money making machines.
Yeah, they got to be. Yeah.
Except, I mean, did the other ones really do that well? The other 4, the direct video ones. We got Ernest Rides Again, Slam Dunk Ernest. Ernest Goes to Africa. I always remember seeing that at my Blockbuster.
Yeah.
That was always there to rent.
Did he join the army too? I think?
Yeah, Ernest in the Army was the last one in 1998.
Yeah.
Only Pauly Shore can join the army.
I
Or
mean, Ernest did it. We just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
or who else? Goldie Hawn,
Oh yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah.
did too.
Yeah.
She did.
little Private Benjamin. Yeah, because like Ernest Goes to what is that camp? That made 23.5 million.
Well, that's what actually is. Well, he was already like a big star even before he did movies because his commercials were huge. Like famously, during just before he even did a movie, Jim Varney was going to be like they had advertised he was going to be at some mall somewhere. I forgot what the mall was at. At the same time, and Mickey Mouse was going to be there, and they said that he was like his line to meet him just made Mickey Mouse's look pathetic.
Oh, Mickey Mouse is a dumb guy in a suit.
Yeah, I mean, plus 2.
Everybody like the adults want to go see, Ernest because they know it's an actual guy. It's
Yeah.
not just some rando in a suit, some wino putting on a Mickey Mouse suit. Oh boy, sit on my lap. Haha.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That is creepy. You're right.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's in Slam Dunk Ernest.
Oh,
He
was
most
he?
certainly is. Yeah.
Ah. All right.
You never
I'll
guess
give
what
you that.
happens.
The Ernest movies?
What's
I've
that?
seen every one of them.
I haven't seen I think I take it as like 2 different quadrilogies. The first one is the good one, and then the second one is a subpar. And it's been I don't know if I've ever seen Ernest Goes to Africa or Ernest Rides Again. I remember seeing Slam Dunk Ernest, but it's been a long time. Same thing with Ernest in the Army. but it's been a
Ernest Rides
very long
Again.
time.
The only thing I remember on Ernest Rides Again is like somehow he ends up on a giant cannon rolling down a hill. For some
So-
reason I remember that.
Oh yes, that's the one where I did see that one. It's him and it's like him and a professor, and they're
Yeah.
trying to find like this, like a historical antique, which is a cannon.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, now it's coming back to me. That one I did not care for, but I was also young and
Well,
stupid, so who knows?
That is the nail in the coffin for theatrical releases when it comes to Ernest is Ernest Rides Again.
Was that theatrical or was that direct to video?
That was theatrical. This was the last one.
Okay.
$3 million. Box office 1.4 million.
That's right. He became Jed
Ooh.
Clampett, and he was doing just fine.
He
I gotta find that movie somewhere. I cannot find that Beverly Hillbillies '90s movie.
It's got some great people in it.
Yeah, it's got a good cast.
it's got the guy from Druckler's Class, right?
Yeah, I think it's got the guy from
Drew Carey,
yeah,
He's
yeah,
in it? Yep.
one of the friends from Drew Carey.
Yeah. the not
yeah.
funny looking one,
Yeah.
He's
the less talented, more handsome of the two.
Will's all about physical appearance.
Hey, sometimes, hey, but you know what I mean. I could say just that. You know who I'm talking about. The funnier looking one is much more talented. Don't
Yeah,
get me
Ryan
wrong.
Stiles. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's
Actually,
great.
He's
It is
awesome.
He's hilarious.
Will.
Yep.
It's on. Oh, that's the actual. Oh, that's the TV show. I was gonna say the TV show, but I thought it was the movie.
Now the TV show is very funny, but I
yeah,
really
the
love that
TV
movie.
show is like on Tubi, Peacock, Roku.
Yeah, TV shows everywhere.
I wonder why that's not on anything.
It's very tough to find, that's for sure.
I'm trying. Oh, Leah Thompson. I hate a lot of these though, where it's always like the same thing over and over.
But to answer your question 20 minutes later, Will, I don't know where I'd put this because I love all these movies so much.
Yeah, they are pretty great.
It's very hard for me to put them in an order.
And I feel like it's one of those movie franchises that,
Up high.
like, it matters what mood you're in,
Yeah.
as far as which one you want to watch or which one you're.
Yeah.
Obviously, Christmas time, you gotta go with the Christmas movie.
Goes to
Halloween
Camp just
time,
makes me sad though, because that song he sings when he's in the rain. Sad song.
yeah. Jim Varney really should have had more work. He is a great.
He is awesome.
Oh,
he's a great
he's
actor.
incredible.
Sweet Toy Story money too.
Oh yeah.
Well, he was only in the first two. Unfortunately, then he passed
yeah,
away.
they passed away. Yeah.
Still though. He's
But yeah, he's, and I gotta say, like, just when he's being himself, he's not a bad looking guy.
Right.
Back to physical appearances,
Yeah.
he is a handsome man.
We have a new segment on the show. What does Will think of this? How this person looks?
yeah.
All right, put it on. It'll be a new segment.
Well, that's for any movie review now. Will's best looking and ugliest person in any movie we watch.
Yeah, I love it. All right, Will,
All
you
right.
got to know it for this movie. Who's the best looking person in this movie?
Best looking, it's got to be Jim Varney.
Yeah,
Because I
agreed.
feel weird saying something about Harmony. She was a good-looking 16-year-old, but
Yeah,
I don't
you don't
want to
wanna-
dangle
You gotta be
that carrot
careful.
in front of Johnny's
You
face.
don't want to do the. You don't want to.
You gotta be careful there.
Gimmick there. You can't
I
blame
don't-
needing glasses.
I don't like the gimmick thing being attached to me here.
No, yeah, And then I don't know who I would go with. I didn't like the agent. His agent I thought was unsettling. Joe's agent. So what was that guy's name?
You think he's uglier
Harvey.
than the old elves?
Then who?
Johnny,
The
stop
old
trying to
elf.
feed into
Yeah, I
the-
forgot about the old elves. I don't know the old elves' names, so it's got to be the old
Uh,
elves. As a duo, you stack them up on each other. You put them in a trench coat. They're both equally ugly.
What is it? Thespin or Thisbe and Patsy.
Yeah, I forgot about those ugly old elves.
Well-
Put them in a sack and beat them with a stick, just like Krampus would.
Andrew, best looking, worst looking?
I'm not going there. This is Will. That's Will's segment.
This is Will's bit.
That's Will's segment. We're gonna leave that to Will since every pretty much thing he said about this movie had to relate to somebody's looks.
Yeah, on a handsome
How
scale.
they were dressed.
it's a handsome scale, yeah.
how
On
they
a
were-
handsome scale, how many set of sacks do you give Barney? Do you give Ernest?
10 sacks for Ernest. He's
How-
easy.
how attractive were the people in Ernest Saves
Yeah.
Actually, I did notice that too. Like you're watching this movie,
Oh,
and it's just like everyday people.
I
yeah.
agree.
You know?
I like
Yeah,
that.
it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I. It has a sense of realism to it. Not everybody looks model-esque or overly, stylized. Like it's great. It's just everyday people just doing their thing.
Agreed.
I still love the snake bit. The snake bit was probably one of my favorites. The
I
way
do
he
love
says
that one, too.
pies in it, pies in
Yeah,
it, pies
agreed.
in it.
Yeah.
I found that very enjoyable.
And I love when he's taking the snakes out of his truck, he's just tossing them over his head.
Yeah. Or when they get the
It's almost as good as when Pee Wee runs out of the pet store screaming.
oh,
Yes.
love that.
Yeah.
Almost.
That's the
Not quite.
crossover we needed and we never got.
We need.
No,
was
I bet
thinking
they
that.
hated each other in real life. I bet they were like bitter rivals.
Real rivalry. Yeah.
They really hated each other.
I saw like there's some video, I don't know what it was for, but like it
Well,
was
I
some sort of interview, and it had Jim Varney in the same room as Robin Williams, and they were like next to each other talking to each other. And I was like, I want to know what that conversation was.
I think it's because Jim would never go to the movie theater with Paul.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Well,
Paul
not that
probably
theater.
Paul doesn't want any company when he's going to that movie theater.
Yeah, he was
So
just by
if you
himself.
could get, you need a third person in all of this.
To go to that kind of a movie
No,
theater?
no. Like if you're gonna do character actors,
I know what the three of us are going to do later.
the character actors, like you guys, Pee Wee, Ernest.
Oh yeah, you gotta have like a
It-
straight man. Yeah.
But I was thinking even like Bean. Like
Oh, there we go. No, that's the holy trio for me.
Yeah.
I was
And
thinking
then
that
and then
in-
Gallagher wants to join, but they just won't let him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the holy trinity. Gallagher could be the bad guy who wants to join, and that's his motivation.
Yeah, he wants to join the cool kids, but they're just shut up, Gallagher.
Yeah, get out of here.
Just smash another
Why
watermelon.
won't you let me join?
Carrot Top tries to get in, and they're like, "No,
I'm Gallagher.
Absolutely not.
no, get away."
That would be a good trio.
I love
Yeah.
that trio.
Pee Wee, Bean, and Ernest.
That'd be like my favorite ultimate universes colliding right there.
That's what we needed. That would have been the Avengers team up before
Yeah.
we got the Avengers team up.
Yeah, agreed, 100%.
Throw in Gene Wilder there too, just for
Oh man, now you're just making us like a super duper team.
because Gene Wilder does have that weird kind of straight man, not straight man.
Yeah, and let's add John Candy. on the
Nothing would
side.
get done because they'd all
Oh.
be trying to upstage each other.
Oh, John.
Like nothing would get done. Nobody would make a point. It'd be everybody just trying to upstage one another.
And John Candy just shows up every once in a while. A perfect movie.
Oh, that would be a great movie.
I think so too. Yeah.
Agreed.
But we did it, guys. We reviewed Ernest Saves Christmas. We all obviously liked
Yeah.
it. It's if you want to watch it for yourself, it's currently on Disney Plus. Go check it out.
If you don't have that, it's also on Tubi for free.
Oh, there you go. And it's a all ages movie. Anybody can watch this thing.
Yeah, that's the great thing about Ernest.
Yeah.
You said they never go out of style.
Timeless. They're very timeless.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. All right. What we doing next week, Andrew, on this very show?
Oh, we're done for the for the year.
Oh, we're done. Oh, we're taking off for the
Yeah.
holidays.
Yes, we are done.
For this thing. Yeah, that's right. Christmas. That's what
Yeah.
Ernest saved, so we should enjoy
Yeah.
it.
You're right.
'Cause
But when we come back though, we're gonna be having our. Make sure you go check out all our social medias. We're gonna be having our annual. Well, now it's gonna be annual because it'll be the second time we do it. Where we talk about things we're gonna put into our Nostalgia Funhouse Hall of Fame.
Yes, we got a very interesting predicament this year. So I just made an
Oh, I don't even know what
call.
this is. Yeah.
I'm gonna make it. I made an executive call, so we'll go.
I
with
bet I
you.
lost in this call, whatever it was.
Yeah, because your choices are very just
Johnny's choices are always
talk about niche on a niche.
Johnny's choices for everything else are always pretty good until you get to music.
Oh, here we go. This coming from the guy who's when he put up his Spotify rap. I literally did not know any of the songs he was on there.
Oh, so I found out who screwed up my Spotify.
Oh, who did? Oh, was
What
it one of your
happened?
kids?
So yeah, I was being a good dad, and now I'm not going to be a good dad anymore. So my son,
Wait, you can choose that?
yeah, I do it all the time. Um,
Dads across the country have chosen that.
I thought it was just one or the other.
so the one day my oldest son wanted to play Fortnite on my computer because I have better specs on my computer than he does. So I said, "Oh yeah, you're doing good in school and everything else. You could
We
play."
just cut to Andrew's computer. It's got like giant glasses.
So So he's playing on it.
I'll show myself out.
And he goes, can can I can I listen to songs on your Spotify? And I'm like, yeah, go for it, whatever. And then all of a sudden that's what screwed it up, is the songs he listened to completely screwed up my algorithm. So I said, don't ever touch it again.
I did not know any of those
I
songs.
can't, well, you know how they do like the wrap up at the end of the year?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
This guy, Ken Carson, was my number one artist. And I was
I've never heard that name.
I've never heard of him either. I was like, listen, how is Ken Carson my number one artist when my top 3 songs were all wrestling theme songs?
So speaking of that, my friend, he sent me his Spotify number 1 song throughout the year, and it played. Let me see if I can get the number here. But his was from WWE The Volume 4.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's the green one, right?
Yeah, it is with the
Good one.
with the skedaddles. So apparently he's into a certain body part. My friend really likes the buttocks.
Yeah.
So his number 1 song was Billy Gunn.
Uh-huh.
I'm an ass man.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a good tune. It's got a good. He likes to kick him. He likes to pick him. He's
like,
gonna, all that good stuff. But he listened to this song. You played this song 5,469 times this year.
Oh, of course I did on 69.
Of course it did. You know what else I noticed about the number 69? That
What's
was
that?
Ernest's cab number.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yes, it was his cab number at the beginning of the movie. Was 69.
We didn't even talk about the beginning where that poor guy's in the back of the cab getting thrown around. That guy was great too. Just that little part he was in.
Yeah, he knew what his role was. And
He
He looked kind of creepy though too, Will. I don't know why you didn't talk about it.
Well, you
He
must
looked like
be
a minute.
creepy.
You look like a minute. Have you ever seen the show Fringe?
No.
It was a sci-fi
so.
show.
Yeah,
But it
I
had like
remember. Was it
Men in Black was one of the things, and they were always in these black suits, but they were bald. They
Okay.
looked just like this guy, and they were really creepy.
Was it Joshua Jackson in that?
Yeah, he sure was. Pacey himself.
Yeah, that's what he did after he was on the Ducks.
Yeah.
And
no,
the
that's
guy who played the king in Lord of the Rings, when he was eating the fruit to get a close up of him
Oh,
eating that
yeah.
guy's in it. He's amazing,
Yeah.
by the way. He's
And
incredible.
that's Charlie Conway, not
Twitty.
no. Charlie Conway, that's Joshua Jackson.
Charlie Conway Twitty, yeah.
Good old Charlie Conway. Couldn't do the triple deke until the end.
Nope.
That's right, yeah.
I prefer the knuckle puck myself.
I'm a knuckle puck kind of guy.
Yeah.
Johnny and I also have very vastly things of where we recognize people from.
That's very true. Yeah.
Like he's like Sean Astin. He's like, oh, that's Sam Wise. I'm like,
Yeah.
You pig. That's fucking Mikey from the Goonies.
He does. He calls me pig all the time.
I do.
You swine. Isn't he a swine?
I've called my children uncultured fucks for saying stuff about movies.
That's 2 F words. Wait, even stop recording it.
Oh,
What are
well.
you doing?
I think
He
the
took
worst,
mine. He took yours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no,
think-
we don't even get to say it, Will.
I think the
Well,
worst
he
is
took his too, so I can either say it or you can say it.
during Ahsoka when
Fuddy duddy.
Jacoby thought a main character was gonna die.
Yeah.
And they did it, and he's like, and I looked at him, I go, what a mark you are. Jeez, you know he was gonna die. Not, were you scared at that point? I'm not a very
I call my uncle that all the time. I mean, it is his name, but still.
what's
Mark.
all right.
Shout out to my Uncle Mark if he listens.
So we will see you guys next year.
Yeah.
Callie, and gonna take some time off. And I don't know.
And Andrew's going to tell us what he wanted to tell us off air.
Yeah.
And you won't know what it is, but we'll know.
Yeah. I don't want to expose Will anymore, but
I'll expose Will.
I'll
Yeah,
expose
right.
myself if you want.
I'm trying to keep him.
I've seen.
So with that being said, what may not be nostalgia for you may be nostalgia for some.
Air brakes.